Hi, this is Nerdy Exotical. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about not being the strong man or the strong woman. In this kind of situation, this is where somebody is using you as a comparison to elevate themselves in some way. It could be in terms of like creating some kind of social capital, getting buy-in from other people, because a quick way to kind of gain clout and to get a little bit of validation is by bonding over shared dislikes. And some women take this to another level by playing and you're the antagonist, they're the protagonist card. And this is where they'll set you up in a group to basically be the odd girl out. So just being mindful of that dynamic. Before we get into like what can we do about this, we need to maybe go into some reasons besides just the need to create social capital. It could also be that they're insecure, and by pointing out something in you that they know is a little bit more desirable about themselves, it's a quick ego boost. It could also be that they're boring, and this is one that's particularly likely. They're boring. They don't have anything to talk about, as my dad always warned me. Um, Small minds discuss people, others discuss events, and great minds discuss ideas. So they might not have anything to talk about, and to disguise the fact that they don't have anything to talk about, that they're actually kind of boring, it's nice to just be able to stir the pot a little bit sometimes. Now, the reason why I go into these is that why they're doing it, while it doesn't change the fact that they are doing it, it does kind of mitigate any people pleasing tendencies you might have that might actually make the situation worse. I know I have some people pleasing tendencies um, just from my cultural upbringing and a very suburban, waspy kind of way of, not rocking the boat, trying to make other people comfortable, and just spreading goodwill in general. Uh, in this situation, the thing is, they're going to talk no matter what you do. No, nothing you're going to do is going to be right, so it doesn't make any sense to course correct. You're going to be chasing your tail. You're going to be irritated. You're going to be tired. It doesn't make any sense. So don't correct. Just do a quick assessment. Make sure there's nothing obvious. You don't have anything in your teeth. You didn't say anything rude. You didn't accidentally step on anybody's toes. Just do a quick assessment. And if they're still treating you badly, even though you haven't done anything over or even accidentally um, rude or off-putting, then it might simply be that they're trying to use you as their antagonist. And if that's the case, instead of buying into it and being the straw man, all you can really do, besides not correcting yourself because you're not doing anything wrong, is simply ignore them and maintain control of your internal narrative. This means that you need to not give any indicator that you're buying into their version of events. Simply ignore and not engage. Because it's one thing for them to try to control how other people see you, but what really gets some women going is controlling how you see yourself. If you can push that off, if you can maintain your self-composure and your internal view of yourself and not let them diminish it in any way, then you're going to be fine in the long run. Eventually, people are going to get sick of hearing them talk about you nonstop. If you talk about them, then it's a back and forth, and that also feeds into the problem. So I would discourage that. I've been guilty of that myself, and thinking that, maybe if we cleared the air or I told my version of events, just don't bother. So sometimes it's a misunderstanding, but most of the time they know what they're doing, and it's not a misunderstanding. It's simply a way to get attention without making an overt bid for attention. Instead of saying, look at me, it's look at her, but listen to me. Tell you about her. It's very covert bid for attention, a little bit of sleight of hand going on there. So like I said, just let them spin their wheels. Some people will enjoy it and keep it going, but you don't want to socialize with those people anyways. They're at the same level as the person who's running their mouth. So you could just consider those a dead weight that you don't need to engage in. Think of it as like a filter. It caught some gunk that you didn't want to include into your life. So just leave it be. Not everybody needs to be your friend. And like I said, maintain your composure, maintain your internal view of yourself, and do anything you can to not course correct, because it does look like then in some way you're agreeing with them. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about today. It was just this effect of basically being somebody's scarecrow. I don't think this is just about women too. The writer James Baldwin made a point that there's a need for the stereotype of the black man. He phrased it differently, and he said, I'm not that version of a black man. So the question is, why do you need that version of a black man? Why do you need me to be that version if I am indeed not? And like I say, it goes back to that straw man. It's an elevation of self without actually having to do any work or make any changes. I'm putting myself as better in comparison to somebody else, even though they might not even know you or even bother to paint an accurate version of you. Which is why, once again, before we leave, maintain your internal version of yourself, maintain your composure, don't buy into the narrative. Anyways, I hope that helps somebody today. As always, take care, and I hope you move towards the life that you want with intention. Until next time, bye.